have with me
Pinchinator13.
Yay! Thank you so much for joining another, I guess we can call this a dev stream since we have developer right here.
That's me.
Yeah, we just one and one. We're like, damn, show up. And then what happened? He showed up.
I came over from right around the corner.
So today we have Mr. Pinch right here. He's one of obviously WoTM Mercenaries designers, and he's going to talk about commander mode. So we're going to go over tanker and commander modes for this awesome game. I played it earlier, and we were talking about the new features that were added from the one that was previously released. And I know a lot of tankers have questions about the controllers and how to play, so we're just going to go into detail. And who better to talk about commander mode than
someone who works on it.
Yay!
That's me.
There we go.
But I think we're going to start with tanker today,
yeah,
right?
let's go. Let's jump right in.
Cool. All right. I'm going to take the atomic because I've been playing with that earlier today. Where are we at? Here we go.
And I already had, he's using my account, so
yes.
you better
it
do
looks
good.
like we are in a platoon, so I'm going to disband that.
Shout out to everyone that's watching us. There we go. So let's talk a little bit about tanker, because you're obviously just selecting one tank, and in commander, we're going to go into detail, but you can select more than one. You obviously have to have 9. But why one tank on this mode?
Well, we are creating this asymmetrical 1 versus 6, and in this case, this event was up to 6 or 7 tankers, where one person places commander in the RTS mode. You have 9 tanks to command. We've been adding improvements to that over the last year. And on this side, you are just yourself, the typical World of Tanks experience. And in this iteration of the event, you can see you can pick any tier 8 tank you want, which is really exciting. Because previously, we only had the tanker option, which you chose it and you were randomly given a tank. So now it's really up to your skills bringing this into the fight finally.
And in this mode, you are fighting against other tanks who are just bots, or are they other players?
So when you enter in as a tanker, you're fighting up against a singular commander who's controlling 9 AI tanks. But what's fun about being on the commander side, and I'll show a little bit later when I do play, is you can possess a single tank at a time. So if you position your tanks correctly and you want to take over your TD that's on a hill, you can possess them and take control of the tank just like you can as a tanker in World of Tanks. And get some really cool shots off, and that's really fun, especially when you're coming down towards the end of the match, and maybe you have 1 or 2 tanks left, there's 1 or 2 tankers, and you can kind of take control of the battle yourself.
Possession's one of my favorite new features that were added. So it really gets allows you to turn the tide, like when you need to actually zoom in and precision attack another tank. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely use possession a lot, so hopefully I can showcase that a little bit later.
Is there such thing as too much possession?
There might be. I might showcase that later as well.
All right, we're launching this. What's happening? There we go. Wait, what are you running? Don't take the mic away. Oh.
Closer to me.
Close enough.
All right, Hidden Village. This is actually the first map we ever had, and we had it in for, well, since the event launched in soft launch last year. But since then, we've added a lot of new maps, and we've been playtesting a lot of maps internally to see what else we could add in the future. So
I got my butt kicked in here last time.
Were you tanker or were you commander?
I was tanker.
You were tanker? Okay.
And also commander.
Yeah. It's fun seeing what the...
Rybot's not doing so good.
It's fun seeing how people play as commander when you're on the tanker side. If they kind of like zerg up and rush the base or rush you or spread their tanks thin, it's pretty fun.
Wait, tanks sort of disappear. Volumes. All right, here we go.
So let's say we have an Artie on our team. So we have 7 tanks on the tanker side versus the 9 commander tanks.
Now, are there any artillery limitations?
You cannot bring artillery onto the commander side.
Okay.
And the reason for that is we don't have a really good solution for allowing the AI to perform well in the commander mode itself. When we play commander mode later, I'll showcase what the AI is kind of doing and why we went this route. But essentially, when you tell a tank to attack another tank, it'll go and hunt that tank down until it has line of sight, and then Artie will do the same exact thing. So I'll just get up real close and try to shoot from there. So we're still exploring ways on how we can incorporate Artie into the future so you have all the tank classes available. But as a tanker, you can bring your Artie in if you have a tier 8 one.
I mean, you want to improve AI, but you do know what happens in Terminator 2, right? With
right,
AI,
at some point, yeah.
You don't want to get them too smart, otherwise,
Is this how it starts?
This is how it starts with him.
Yeah.
It's you.
I'm doing this. So I'm going to go up on this back hill. although it looks
Oh,
like...
that's a good hiding spot. That's where I just go hide and wait. I'm kidding.
There was one match earlier when I was playing tanker, and the commander sent all of his tanks up here, and I'm really hoping that's not happening now, although it might actually be happening.
Done.
We see, was it 3 on the map there? Question is, where are the rest?
Right, where are the rest? I don't think they spotted me yet. So I'm going to hide here for a second, see if they keep going past. One thing to remember in this mode is that when you are playing the...
Ooh,
oh,
there we go.
Your settings are slightly different. Oh, no.
Oh, no! See,
I was just
you-
expecting to
now
be
you know
zoomed
how
in.
it feels to be me when Hector changes all my... Oh, you just got spotted from the other side,
I
man.
did.
There we
But
go.
hopefully my TD can get in there and get an angle.
Ooh, ow.
Well, I was going to say before I figured out the controls are a little different than what I normally play, is that there is no module damage or crew damage in commander mode on either side.
I think you might be safe enough to quickly change.
Yeah,
I probably
would
could.
Go for it. Do it.
I do invert.
Toggle zoom, and we'll do this in case
Oh.
we take an artillery later.
Oh, everybody and their specific controllers. That's okay, you know. It's the spice of life. All right.
Right. So it looks like the enemy commander brought in 2 TDs this time and 2 lights, which is interesting. I see a lot of people when I play it just by myself, they bring in a lot of heavies and TDs, and I don't usually see a ton of lights, but the lights can be super useful for, you know, spotting for your TDs if you bring them in.
Ooh. Oh.
There's that TD somewhere off in the distance.
Yeah, he's got.
He's keeping his
eyes on
heavies
you.
right there. I really don't want to go around the corner as much as I would like to hit them. Maybe I can snipe through here.
Got him.
I cannot. I wonder where he has his TDs.
It might be over, like right on his spawn, probably.
It's possible, yeah. We're gonna do a little risky maneuver here, because this is a hardcover building, so they can't destroy this.
that guy's-
Oh,
ew.
nice. Okay, got rid of the King Tiger. That's good.
Ooh, they're both super
Yeah, now-
healthy, but
We've got 2 guys on the opposite side though helping
There we
out. So
go.
it looks like we should be able to take him out. Oh yeah, he's sideways. He's aiming at me.
yeah,
It's
he's
okay.
almost
As long
done.
as the TDs don't suddenly. There we go.
Nice.
Perfect.
Done.
So if he is gonna keep shooting at me, hopefully my
Are you
my
gonna shoot in the
teammates
hat?
behind. I'm gonna try.
Oh,
Oh,
it's okay. He's also taking damage, so.
he is. I need those mediums to come up. Still haven't found the
Guys!
TDs. I haven't spotted them. We haven't seen them one time yet.
That I just noticed that you have Artie on your team.
Yeah, and Artie is pretty fun to play in this mode. Although I like Artie in general as well.
Ooh, it's a back shot.
All right, now it's time to find the TDs.
Oh no! It's a poor light against a.
Although I think the commander might be
right.
possessing that light based on how it's moving. Taking the matters into his own hands. All right, we got a medium up here. Oh, that was a good shot.
Go after Steve Armstrong. I love the names for the
Yeah,
Well, I think we found. I think you're right. It looks like.
Ooh. Oh. Now the Hooligans completely destroyed. Oh, come on. Oh, no. It's okay.
Wow.
It's okay.
We're just having some fun.
Yes.
Wow, is he possessing this guy? That's what I want to know.
That was a nice shot.
Still full health. That light is still alive. He came off that hill. Oh, I think he's possessing this guy.
Oh, he totally is.
Yeah. So he must have left his TDs just to shoot at the enemies in the background.
He's running where his life. He's like,
He's
where
gonna
you
run right into that
going?
Artie and not even realize it.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, we can back out.
Oh,
Try
okay.
another match.
So, for the last time when you guys were playing or working on Commander mode, of course you
Mhm.
mentioned that we had a hidden village, and now there were other maps included.
Yep.
To Commander mode. Why those 2 maps?
So right after we released Hidden Village, or one of the releases afterwards, we added Mirovanka as a map. And that's kind of like a different play style. It's less about, you know, the giant hill with the city and the overlook, and it's more about rolling hills with a lot of destruction in the middle. What we know is that for the maps to be successful, we need a good mix of wide open areas and destructible buildings. That way the AI can maneuver easier. One of our maps that we have in Berlin is kind of the opposite approach, where we wanted to try a really urbanized map to see what would happen. And in there, if we get into it as a commander or a tanker, you'll see that it's a lot more about positioning and holding off the different alleyways and roads and things like that. So we have, like you said, Hidden Village, Mirovanka, Berlin, and the newest map for this event was Prokhorovka.
And were there certain maps that you guys were looking into that did not make the cut?
We've tested so many maps that has absolutely happened. I'm trying to think of one that I know that we tested and didn't work.
Did you test the moon map?
That has been brought up before. That actually has. It's like, what if Tank Commander played in the moon? All the physics are going crazy and stuff.
Oh.
So that, you never know. That could be. That
Could
could
just
happen.
imagine AI just doing fun jumps.
Yeah, I don't know how they would interact. That would be interesting.
Request. I'm gonna file a request ticket for that.
I'll get that in a shelf and we can test it here.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, when you select the next tank, we might as well do a giveaway celebrating Commander mode. So we
Sure.
are going to give away a Chrysler Cave in each and one of our channels because everyone's watching us on YouTube Live, Facebook, and Twitch. So for a chance to win a Chrysler Cave, all you have to do is type in your gamer tag and post along with your gamer tag which one have you tried, Commander mode, Tanker, or maybe both. We'll
Yeah.
see. So we'll select again, one for each channel. Are we hopping on Tanker again?
We are Tanker again.
Okay, cool.
I can switch to Commander whenever you'd like.
Ooh, on the next one.
We're on
sure.
Hidden Village again. I was hoping we would get a new one. The matchmaker just kind of randomly picks a map for this mode. It doesn't do any checks on like if you played this map last or anything like that. So if you see it multiple times in a row, that's because that's just how it's designed right now.
Army Guy over on YouTube Live says that Commander mode is great.
Awesome.
Oh, both modes are great. So he's definitely having fun. Don't forget that we also have leaderboards posted on our website.
Sure.
Yeah, there are some guidelines. Make sure you go on the article and read, and you can win some awesome prizes. And there's also ops attached to Commander mode, correct?
Yes, there are definitely ops attached to Commander mode.
And some of the rewards are silver, boosts, and then also gold.
Gold.
And for all of you who don't know, or maybe you do know, but need a quick reminder, if you participate in the Commander mode seasons, you might end up winning yourself a unique and specific tank that we'll be giving away
That's correct.
by fulfilling all the stages. What's this tank? We can't tell you yet. In fact, it's been tested and worked on. So we really don't have any information to share at this point. All you need to know is that it's a tier 8, and you get it by playing Commander mode.
It looks like in this match everybody's going hill except for myself and one medium.
You tend to go to the city.
When I play, yeah, I do.
It's like cover.
I like the cover. If I played T in this map, I would definitely go hill.
It's strange because I actually go uphill. I always go in between, 3, 4, and 5. That's kind of like my area.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I stick.
One thing I like to try to prevent is commanders to send all their tanks directly to the cap point. So I like to get up nice and close and see if I can stop
How
that.
well does that often work?
I've noticed in this event it doesn't work as well as previous events because a lot of tankers are bringing in their own tanks and they know how to play them really well.
Okay.
Whereas before it was a lot of, oh my goodness, you were kind of randomly given one. You might not be familiar with what you're playing, so the commander could win that. It's still certainly a very strong tactic, but when I've tried it just for fun, it doesn't always work. And specifically in this instance where we have everybody on the hill, that's a really good line of sight for anybody who's rushing the point right now.
Oh, he's not even looking at you. Ooh,
So let's see. So this is a very, what I would say, common commander lineup. There's four heavies and 2 TDs with a medium and a light. It kind of balances out just about everything because you can, depending on how you position your units, you can keep them safe with your heavies and use your light to flank around and your TDs up in the back.
I'm getting nervous.
We're all getting a little nervous. Oh my goodness, I missed.
Steve Armstrong. I'm sure there's a Steve Armstrong out there.
Yeah.
He's like, who's cursing me?
Who stole my name?
Oh.
So he's just keeping all of his guys right in the middle. It's interesting. I think,
No.
I wanted to get Steve Armstrong this time. He killed me last match, so I wanted to get some revenge.
Steve Armstrong. You can do it.
See, it looks like they are keeping him very distracted. It looks like, we do have a medium coming right my way. He could be possessing this. Let's find out.
Oh, he's going. Oh.
Remember, you can't track, so that's going to be an issue here.
Uh-oh. Motherland versus Patriot.
Who will win?
Hopefully my team.
Yeah. Wait, James Biggs?
I read it as James Bond.
Oh.
James Bond?
Yeah. So that's your cat in there.
Yeah.
Right, Bob?
Biggs. That's the name of my cat.
I was gonna say it's your. Oh my
Oh,
goodness! Is
my
James the
cat
name of your
just-
cat?
No, Biggs. They're totally
I was.
obliterated.
It's a different tank that got me that time. So that was smart. He's probably possessing this medium. Came out of possession and used his heavy that was on the hill there to target me since I was facing him and he couldn't penetrate me. That was a smart move.
We have a question from Degeneration 1. World Tanks Console, any plans on more Commander mode ops?
Yes. So one thing that we've noticed with this first initial release is that the ops for the commander side specific are a little sparse, and by sparse I mean there's one specific one. So that's certainly something that we're going to revisit in later events, and just see if we can add maybe a little bit more variety to what's already there. So yeah, ops are definitely on our mind.
Cool.
Looks like we are going to win this. Let's see if we get closer.
There's only one little dude left. Oh, and that medium is just rushing. There you go.
There we go. Nice. So this is certainly a moment where it's, we have 5 left versus 1 guy possessing, so.
4. I feel for you. Oh, I got shot in the butt. Oh, and
There
now
we
he's
go.
gone. There.
All right, we did it. First one is tanker.
First try.
Yeah, first
Nice.
try.
And we are now going to move on to Commander, but before
Cool.
we do that, Tank Source, announce the names of the winners.
Oh no, you want to get the first one?
No, I think you want to read the first one. It's in
I'm
Russian.
not sure. It is, yeah.
All I know is that the gamer tag is Lupos23, and he said, "But are you gonna translate?"
I'm gonna try.
Let's see. Hold on. Wait, it says right there, translate. I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Did that make it better?
Oksana Klepanova.
Klepikova?
Klepikova. Yeah,
Lupos
you got it.
23.
Lupus
Yep.
23. Congratulations, you just won yourself a Chrysler K. All right, next two. Then you can handle the next
Our
two, right?
second winner is Jesse Hop, and he says Commander mode. Congratulations.
Nice.
Gamer tag, farming is awesome. And our third and final winner is Natasha L. Walters,
Ooh.
and gamer tag is Admiral Dark 539 on PS4, and she says Commander.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Clap, 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 clap. Congratulations. All right, so now we are in Commander mode, and let's talk a little bit about the mode itself because the UI is different from
Yes.
Tanker. Right now you are selecting 9 tanks, so can we go into detail about what type of tanks, if you don't have the tanks that you're supposed to have in order to play Commander mode, what can you do?
Correct.
All right, let's do it.
So if you're looking at this UI, I've already selected some tanks. When you first enter, this is what it would look like, but with everything filled out. I just hit autofill on accident. But the top 6 options, they're class-based. So the left 2, you have to pick a heavy. The middle 2, you have to pick a medium. And the right 2, you have to pick a TD. And we did this just because we didn't want people just bringing in a full suite of TDs or a full suite of heavies. We found from the previous events that we have a pretty good lineup when we were releasing it previously. We want to try to keep something that was similar in terms of classes. And the bottom 3 is where you can get a little crazy. You can pick any tank that you want. This is the wildcard slot. So this is where you can bring in your lights if you want, or you can bring in extra TDs or heavies, whatever you really want to bring in. This is where you can kind of go crazy with your customization.
And are they tier tied?
Yep. Everything for this event is tied to tier 8. So if you own a tier 8, you can put it in here. The exception, the exception being here, yes, is RDs. You can't bring an RD in as a commander.
What about the tanks themselves? Do they have to have equipment, consumables, camouflage?
You can bring in any of that now. Previously, you weren't able to. Of course, you were tied to just the tanker option, and we didn't have equipment or consumables or crews or anything like that available. But now you can bring anything in that you want. So you can bring in, different types of ammo. You can equip all your consumables that you want. Remember that in this mode, crew damage and module damage is disabled. So that kind of impacts what you might bring in for your consumables and your equipment, of course, as well. You can bring all that in. and you can swap around your crews, whatever you want to customize it. Really, we're getting as close as we can to the normal World of Tanks experience brought into Commander.
And in this new Commander mode, I know the inclusion or the addition of rented tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that work?
So for rented tanks, I think you might actually own every single rented tank. So that might be the problem. But normally when you go into fill a slot, there would be at the beginning here of the reel, there would be a rent a tank option.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you would be able to select the tank and buy it or rent it either for the single event. And a single event is defined as we started this on Tuesday and next Tuesday it will go offline. That's our event 1. Next month we'll have event 2. And you'll have to re-rent it again if you choose to rent for event. And then if you rent for the entire season, you'll have it throughout the entire 6-month Tank Commander season that we're planning. So.
And when you rent it out, does it come with a crew? And can you add consumables and equipment? Or is that something that you can add on the side?
Yeah, you'll get a crew with it, and you are able to customize it just like you can any Tier 8 tank. And while the event is active, you can take it into multiplayer battles, random battles as well.
Oh, cool.
So if you were to...
Nice.
I know that the Scorpion G is something that we're renting out right now. If you were able to, if you rent it for the event or the season, while the event is active, you'll be able to take it over and test it out there too.
We should give away Scorpion G's next. How about that?
Scorpion Gs are pretty good for this month.
All right. Yeah, I want to hear from you guys. If you want us to give away Scorpion G's, then we'll definitely do it. Someone over in YouTube Live, they want your hoodie, so you're probably gonna have to give it away.
These are nice hoodies. These are really nice, nice and warm.
All right, let's go and jump into. Oh yes, you picked the Stark. It's my favorite
I did.
tank.
It's one of my favorite tanks in this mode.
When I play Commander, that's the one that I was possessing, so I was always keeping my distance, and I was like just shooting from afar.
If you didn't have the class restrictions, I think Rybot would be running all Stars.
Just all Starks. See, this is why we had to add them. All right,
Preach.
another hidden village map. I swear there's more maps. I promise. I was getting Berlin a lot earlier when I was playing.
I was heartbroken that I couldn't take my KB1 and the Deadbolt in there. I was sad. I cried. But then I'm like, okay, the Stark is there. You get a pass.
Yep.
But next time, hopefully next time, lower tiers.
Well, we'll explore some different tiers for sure. So what I'm going to do for this first match, maybe the second match, is I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of the controls.
Yes.
So whoever I'm playing against, you're going to get probably an automatic win just because I want to go over that. I saw a lot of talks in the forums and Facebook and Reddit about how the controls are a little intimidating, and we do have a lot of controls, so I understand why.
Yeah, but the first 2-3 games, I think it's going to be tricky, but after the fourth one, it's an easy handle. So go ahead. Yeah,
it definitely takes some getting used to, but as you play it and figure out what's going on, it certainly becomes easier. So just right off the bat, our A button is our selection tool, so you can select a tank just like that, and our X button moves a tank to a destination. The X button also works as attack this target, so if there was an enemy that was spotted, I could tell my Brazil to go attack him. The AI will move into a location where there's line of sight, and they will attack from that position. They will not move by themselves unless you tell them to. Now, one extra thing that you can do when you move your group of units or a singular unit is when you hold X, you'll have the UI on the ground. And if you notice, there's little arrows pointed off. What that means is when you release this, the tanks will arrive at that destination and turn and face that direction. So this is really useful for if you want to position your Ts like I did in the opposite direction of combat, or if you wanted to move them to a better location and say, I want to overlook the cap point just like that, and my 3 TTs probably would have hit the Chrysler K if they were there.
That's how were you able to have all 3 tanks move at the same time? Was there a command that you press and be like, okay, all 3 of you at the same time, rather than selecting one at a time?
Yeah, there's actually a variety of ways you can do that. So you can do the selection method that we don't want to do right now, which is holding RT and then pressing A, will allow you to select multiple. You can also, if you look at the bottom left of the screen, there's the D-pad, and they have class associations. If you just tap it once, you're going to grab every single tank associated with that class that's alive in the battle. So right now, if I wanted to grab all of my mediums like I just did, just tap right on the D-pad and tell them to go somewhere. My TDs, I have my TDs selected, tell them to go somewhere. Another neat trick with the D-pad is if you double press, you'll immediately snap to the closest class tank that's alive. So this is good for if you sent your light on a distance away, you could easily snap back to him like that and be like, oh, that's where he is. So, and then in terms of what else is actually on screen, if you see B is popped up right now, that deselects the tank that you have selected.
Oh, he's
And
gone.
RB is the fun button where you turn into possession mode.
Yes!
So this is where you get to take
tank.
control and see if you can. See if we get
Oh,
this guy.
yeah, he needs a.
There we go.
Ooh, nice.
And then while you're in this mode, you can press X or B to move to a different tank automatically. And then to leave, you just simply press LB again, and you're out.
That's a good strategy because if you have one tank passing 3 or 4, you can possess all 3 of them as he passes by and control the shots.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a wave of you, and then that tank is completely destroyed.
Definitely. So some other things that you can do is while you have a tank selected, you notice that there's the Y button at the top. If you press that, they're going to immediately halt. So that way, if you send your TDs over a hill and suddenly you see a bunch of enemy tankers pop up, you can tell them, oh, halt, and they'll stop moving immediately.
But they will still fire.
They will still fire if they have line of sight. Yep. And if you aren't sure if they're firing or not, if you see the little UI circle that's counting down on that freedom, that's how long he's taking to reload. So right about now he would fire. Yep.
There you go. Cool.
When you're in possession and you're cycling through,
Mm-hmm.
does it cycle to the next class of that tank, or does it cycle to the next?
It's cycling to the next closest.
Okay.
Correct. So let's see if
He's hiding in the rock. He knows what's up. I'm telling you, they know too much.
this isn't going terribly for not really doing much. So let's see. Let's get that shot off.
Ah.
So when you exit this, some other things that you can do. If you want to tell your tank to reverse, if you hold LT and press X, this tank is now going to reverse this destination. So this is really good for getting your tank out of a really bad situation, or to keep a line of sight on something as you retreat.
That seems really useful. 'Cause
Yes, that was
when I
one of the most
playing-
requested ones that we had.
That when I would play, I'd tell, hey, back off, and they just like spin around. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
And if you notice what I just did there, I was holding RT and pressing X. This allows you to add waypoints. He just drove into that corpse, which is unfortunate. So we'll possess him and get back out.
You should have an option where you just have a selection of house rock and have the tank hide to the nearest house or the nearest rock.
So-
buddy, you go there.
Right. So again, just to showcase it, if you hold RT and press X, you're now setting waypoints, and the tank will move to all these waypoints. So I found this really useful for my lights, especially if I'm on Progorovka, where I have my defensive hold set up, and I'll send my light out, kind of like what it's doing now, and figure out where the tanks are, and hopefully my TDs can hit them.
Pretty cool.
There we go. Ooh, oh!
Well, we killed 4, which is pretty impressive.
Look,
for
you were going through the
moving one at a
controller,
time.
so
Yeah.
this was pretty good. Very. Did we miss anything? I
There's a-
don't think.
There's a couple of extra controls that we can go over, but I
Okay,
can
yeah,
kind of
let's
do
do
that
that.
while playing.
Let's do it.
Let's just do a next battle here.
Use
Use the same lineup.
Since one, Rival looks like she's ready to go out. Look, if you guys want me to hobo it out, I'll hobo it out next time. I'll just come wearing my usual outfit, a sack of potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah, burlap sack, done. There we go.
Wait, can I get one too?
You,
We all
you
get burlap
totally
sacks.
can. Yes. We didn't do the giveaway yet, have we?
Not for
not
this
for
No,
that one.
not for
No.
the Scorpio G. Okay, for a chance to win a Scorpio G, along with your gamer tag, I want you guys to type in
Hey.
chat 2 or 3 tanks that you always take out in commander mode. Because you have commander mode, commander.
Yes, that's the
And then
little.
commander
is
mode.
the mode, and commander is the tank. Correct.
Yeah, tanker. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I wanna know what you guys are picking, and I'm stealing this idea from someone in the forums, because he was asking, "Hey everyone, put in your lineup for commander."
Yeah, I was reading that. That was really cool. Yeah.
And I'm like, Stark, and then Max
Yeah, that was
Chaos
in
came
mine, too.
in with his, like, whatever, Max Chaos, you're too cool for school. Let's see. Ooh, IS-3 Fatherland. Ooh, okay, those are good. Motherland is perfect for commander mode, says Misha Granovsky. Beautiful last name.
Do you agree, Motherland?
Motherland's pretty good. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Oh, Maxios when
I
you
like-
best lineup ever. Whatever.
I like I like taking in a lot of heavies personally. I find they're really fun, and they last a little bit longer.
Boghor T32.
I do take the
T32A.
Boghor in. I definitely take the Boghor in.
Flan Scarlet. Ooh. Mutant 6, Freedom and Vengeance from Moses Diaz.
Do I have a freedom in right now? I think I do.
There is,
think you should.
yeah.
I did bring a freedom in. Yeah, I like the freedom for this mode a lot as well.
Mickey Rambo, also with a freedom. Defender, James Lazy.
The defender is really good for this mode, yeah. I'm about to get
Nice.
rammed to death. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's see what this extra TD can do.
Let's see. Oh, the Bulldog, Holland Hound. This goes from Tall Desert, 34,426.
I've definitely brought the Holland Hound in before. I was just doing that earlier.
Chrysler K, Motherland and Fatherland, Army Guy. Shout out to Army Guy over YouTube Live. Jenkins Princeton on PS4, Defender Stark, and the AT-15. Wow. You know, I see a couple of tanks that repeat, which is the Freedom and the Mutant, but their lineups are pretty different. That's interesting.
So it looks like I've lost both of my lights here, which is kind of expected. I sent them into the enemy territory. See if I could delay.
I love this map. This map is amazing.
This map is a lot of fun. So some of the other things I wanted to go over for the controls, one of the most useful things is the right bumper. If you just tap it once, you'll select everything on screen. If you tap it twice, you just selected everything in the game. So this is really good when you have a singular target that's nearby a lot of people and you want to say, attack. And you'll watch all these green lines, try to move over and attack them.
When you said, I always go with like the silliest things. When you said select everything in game, I'm like the houses.
Yeah,
the walls,
all the
trees,
geometry, everything
all
is now yours, and you're placing it around the map.
And here we were just selecting tanks.
It's now a map creator.
Oh, nice.
Okay, let's go to that guy. Oh no.
That was an honest and sincere
An oh no for the oh-ho. Oh goodness. I'm glad that we got a new map and it wasn't Hidden Village though, because now we can see that there are extra maps here. I want to get this guy behind this house.
Ooh.
Now this is where you leave that tank there and you like possess someone else to like go shoot him.
That's correct. I'm gonna tell this guy to move over here. One of the strategies that I actually do use quite a bit is what I just did there is I'll tell a tank to attack something in front of it and then tell him to move behind it, because while that's happening his priority is to attack this tank, but he's going to move. So in this instance they're going to ram each other, which is great. But when this does work, they'll drive past and be able to keep shooting.
Oh, there's nothing better than a good tank ram destruction.
What's going on with the Oho?
Yeah. Oh,
Let's see what's
there
going on
he
with the
goes.
Oho. The Freedom's still coming on over to help him out.
I think your other guy's out of there.
I think he's still shooting at the... Let's see if we can get him over here to attack this Chrysler K. We'll go back. Whoops. We'll go back into the Freedom here. See if we can get him out of danger a little
2
bit.
versus 3 now, and the other team's got a destroyer, so
Yep. I want to get rid of that Chrysler K just to have another gun off the board.
yeah.
I
-1.
I played a match earlier where one of the other designers was watching me play on Prokhorovka, and it came down to a 1v4, and I had the Bog Horror. And I was able to get down to a 1v1, which was pretty impressive, but this doesn't seem like it's going to be going very well.
Nope.
My
All
Chrysler
right.
K is dead.
Shoot up! Oh no.
You just have to believe in your space armor. You'll be all right.
I know. It didn't work that time.
Oh, an explosion. Michael Bay explosion done. Blind Wild Dog, I did check your message, I did reply, and I don't think there's anything we can do, but I'll double check. Why can artillery be used to get TVs for play? You didn't finish this question. Oh, there you go. Why can artillery be used to complete the machine up? Well, that's a gameplay. I'll answer that question later on, because right now we are talking about commander mode. And this is for the Chisel. Results for clan battles that will be posted the moment that we get that information, so keep an eye on the website. And what if you already rented the Scorpio G and win? Well, that's a good question. We'll have to look into that, because I wasn't really sure. I would assume it would end the rental. We'll take a look at that. But I think we are ready to announce the winners for the Scorpio G.
Absolutely.
Okay, go for it.
Our first winner is Oh God.
Hidden
distributor.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. Yeah.
Players and gamer tags.
Gamertag is also a hidden distributor, and he says Paladin, Chrysler, K, and the IS-3. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
And our second winner is Paula Broda. And this player says the Chrysler K, the Falcon T92, and T103 Bison.
2 Chrysler Ks.
And our third winner is Dan
Sugashi.
And he says a staggering, or his gamer tag is staggering shot, and he says Fatherland, the King Tiger, and the Super Pershing. AKA Freedom.
Those are all pretty good ideas. Or good tanks. I'm bringing the Atomic in this time.
Congratulations to all our winners.
The tanks will be credited to you at the end of the stream, and we are going to jump in another Commander match. And after that, it will be the end of the stream. But while the map loads, it's time for the quick firing questions since it's your first time in the stream.
Ooh, we thought it snuck by.
Yeah,
I was looking at the clock. We got 13 minutes. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. You have to answer them fast.
All right, I will do my best.
Commander or tanker?
Commander.
Favorite nationality?
USA.
Favorite tank class?
Medium.
Favorite tank?
The Atomic.
Favorite map?
In the game or in Commander?
You're thinking.
In the game. Yeah, you're thinking.
I'm going to go with Prokhorovka because that was the one I wanted to add for this mode.
Favorite mercenary tank?
The Trinity Mark II.
Black or white?
Black.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
You got all of them right.
I did?
The last one.
Oh, no.
Wait, this is not about having
that
the
might
right.
be subjective.
What?
I'm not sure.
This is not
awesome.
about having the right. Yeah, but you were thinking at some point. Yeah, no.
I thought I had to think about the map one. But this is definitely my favorite map to play on Commander, even if I don't win very much.
I know people object to this, but I actually like it. Would there be an option in the future to maybe have weather variant maps for Commander mode?
We have certainly discussed that, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, that was one of the maps we tried. We tried, I don't remember which one it was. We tried a weather variant map, but just without moving any of the VFX around or altering it at all, it was almost impossible to see from this angle. So you had to be down almost to the ground to see. So we'd have to tweak it a little bit. But yeah, people have internally have asked, why don't we try a weather variant map?
I like it.
Let's see, we got the...
I'm trying to imagine RTS style, except you're about an inch off the ground.
Yeah. If you're just playing like this, it's a little tough to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Well, there goes all your, battlefield awareness, right?
Right. All right. So my Brazil is just gonna perish over here.
Do audio cues work along with the type of gameplay and style? Because we have some players who have expressed having difficulty seeing some of the commands, not specifically for this new Commander mode, but in the past, and they felt like audio cues would help them kind of understand what is happening around them. Were there any changes on this time for Commander mode?
We're always trying to improve the audio cues for sure. We've recorded some specific VO for when you select heavy tanks, it's like heavy tanks ready to roll out or medium tanks ready to go. Or when you attack a target, there should be a VO call that's saying attacking enemy light tank and stuff like that, which is some of the stuff we've added to make it more generic, kind of like an RTS. Like I'm attacking this guy over here. I'm attacking this type of class.
I'm behind a rock.
Cheese loaded.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
That's the one you need for everything.
Which one? Cheese loaded?
Cheese loaded.
Let's see. Let's get my units to retreat back here. We have our 2
Possess the star.
heavies. Okay, I'll possess the Stark. Where's
Yes.
it at? So one cool thing we did with the Stark and just siege mode tanks in general is right before we went live, talking with our brilliant AI engineer, we were like, we need to make siege mode tanks work with the AI, otherwise they would never use it. And since this is a really popular tank and I wanted to play it effectively, as well as anybody who wants to bring it in, we did that. So when the AI is just passively sitting there, it will enter siege mode and use siege mode effectively. If you tell it to move somewhere, it will leave siege mode and it will arrive at its destination. And after a 1 to 2 second delay, it'll enter siege mode again. And this really allows you to use this tank very effectively. Otherwise, it would never be in siege mode. And we noticed when we were playtesting that it was just shooting over tanks because it thought it could shoot, but it wasn't able to.
Oh, that sneaky Chrysler.
Sneaky.
Wow.
Sneaky. This freedom is really holding the ground for me. This is the MVP tank right now. And someone else is hitting it. There we
Oh,
go.
nice. Oh. There comes the Italian
Okay,
tank
we're
being
gonna
all
see
sneaky.
what this guy. If you hold down A like I just did, that's marquee selection, a different a fun way to select tanks in an area if you like.
Probably if like you have multi-classes like around, right? You don't necessarily want to select everything on screen, but just like a smaller portion.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just fun to use it too, honestly. Let's park this guy facing this direction. This looks like it's a winnable map match this time. Let's see if we can possess and get a quick shot off here. I guess one more thing I could show, because it's a pretty important part of the game. If you look at the bottom left of the screen again, you can see the L3 button with green dots in it. This changes your formation type. So if I had everybody in the game selected like I do now, and I do this, you'll be able to do different formations. Line, V, square, however you really want to do it.
Cheerleading pyramid. Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
Is there specific formations that you prefer for different tank variants, or?
Yeah, so I usually like to put my heavies in a line formation and my TDs in a V formation. That's just personally how I like to do it.
Arrow or V?
I guess it's like an arrow for the up for interpretation.
Yeah.
It looks like this right here, where it's one up in front and two behind, and then you could flip it so there's two up front and one behind. That's pretty. That's also pretty good in general.
Gosh, that IS-3 is playing games, literally.
I wish that who's left? Oh, it's the Stark.
Yeah.
Untouched, unscathed.
This is the
Oh,
he actually
he's
got him.
gone.
So let's grab everybody and tell him to attack.
Oh, poor guy.
And we'll go back to this guy because he's gonna move to try to get down there.
I was gonna say.
He's just gonna scoot on over.
Just like goes up the cliff, like
Well, he wouldn't go
Got
off
you.
the cliff, luckily, unless there was something really wrong with the nav mesh.
get him, get him.
Oh, there's gonna keep going. No.
No, I thought he was gonna keep on like going back.
Same.
No,
he's gonna get behind that
don't
building.
move. Dang it.
See if he goes through. Oh,
Yes.
Shot.
Oh!
that's really unlucky on my part. Like, is he gonna ram?
He's
not gonna ram. He's in a circle.
he's being sneaky. Ah!
This is just. I should let the AI handle
No,
this.
no,
Let's
keep
go.
shooting. No, do it. He's running away. That's the thing.
He is
He's
running
too
away. He's
smart.
very fast.
Telling you.
Oh, I gotta go back into siege mode. It's on the move.
Perfect.
Oh, I hit the building. I'm removing all the buildings from this map now. They're all gone. Oh, he sees me.
Oh, is he going after you? I think so.
Is he coming up here? Uh-oh.
And after this stream, there will be downtime where we're going to remove all the buildings.
Yeah, all the buildings will be gone before tomorrow.
He is learning. He knows that the person possessing the tank is like the real player, so he's going after you now.
It's you can definitely notice when someone is possessing a tank. It's a lot of fun to realize what's going on. Oh, he's not going up.
No, yeah, he is.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Shoot him.
Oh, they barely don't have line of sight. Come on.
He's like lasers.
Come on.
Pew, pew.
Come on. There we go.
Ah, good tanks. That was fun.
Well, that was a pitiful example of what the Stark can do, but still got the W.
Take him down, my minions. That was awesome. That was a good.
I believe that was something that when we recorded the dev diary for Commander Mode, one of our friends, I think it was in Australia, he said that one of his favorite things is trying to figure out if someone's actually, looking at him right now, or is he safe, or are they possessing something?
Right.
He says that he enjoyed that aspect of the game.
That's definitely a lot of fun when you're playing as a tanker, especially when you notice like, oh, he's that light tank right now. The rest of the units are kind of not being attended to, so you can take advantage of that too if you play it well enough.
Broke One says Mighty Ducks formation. You have to give these
there we go.
formations
Yeah,
names.
we'll add that next time too.
We should do a contest to give the formations names. That would be awesome. Well, we are at the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we leave, thank you so much for joining and going over Commander Mode. So much fun. You guys have until September 16th to play, enjoy, please go into forums and share your feedback about what you like. If you see that there's something that needs to be improved, please let us know. Your feedback is very appreciated, and we can only go up from here.
Yep.
There were two announcements. One, don't forget that the new initiative for the World Tanks Mercenaries community map has become live. And this is the announcement that I was talking to you guys about, I think it was like 2 weeks or last week, I believe. So this initiative is very, very simple. We want to build a new map with your help. So we are going to be posting questions from the developers in the forums. And from those questions, we are going to develop a map that you guys will be helping us. I believe some of the questions start with what type of area or region will the map be that will determine if it's North America, Asia, and so on. The type of weather, so if it's a snow map, it's obviously going to dictate the type of terrain and so on. So please keep an eye on the article. Has been already published, and we are going to publish the questions the 3rd week of September. So very, 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 very soon. I know you guys have been asking for new maps for World Tanks Mercenaries, and we are definitely going to do that, and we are going to do it with your help. So we are super, super excited about that. And also don't forget the leaderboards for Commander Mode. Participate, and then you'll end up winning and earning really cool rewards. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm going to keep playing. I actually learned a couple things that I didn't know during the stream, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a try, especially the formation.
The Mighty Duck formation?
Yeah.
Mighty Duck formation.
That's where I was like, oh, I had no idea. Congratulations to all of the winners. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is the stream with Tank Source at 2 p.m.
Yep. So if you want to stop by, say hi, play some games, I'll be playing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central.
What console?
On Xbox.
And server?
On NA.
Ooh.
All right. And text? I'm kidding. That's what.
And what else?
Anyway, thank you so much for joining Weekly Assault, and we will see you next week, Thursday, 2 p.m. Central Time.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye-bye.